Hey, welcome everybody to CP Cards and Dice, and welcome to another presentation of our 2019 season replay with the New York Mets. And Mets are at home at Citi Field in beautiful downtown Flushing, Queens. You can take the 7 train and you get off at the Willets Point exit. You see the stadium right from the platform. And it's going to be the Phillies with Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin in 2019 was 10-13 with a 4.13 ERA against Steven Matz, who was 11-10 with a 4.21 ERA. So he had a much better season than he's having this season. Steven Matz is really struggling with the Mets in 2020. And let's go over the Philly lineup quickly. It's going to be Jean Segura, the shortstop. JT Realmuto batting second, the catcher. Batting third is Bryce Harper, signed a mega bucks contract with the Phillies for 70 years. He'll be 147 when that contract runs out. Batting fourth is Rhys Hoskins, the first baseman. He's a power hitting first baseman who I believe led the league in walks in 2019. Scott Kingery in center field. Batting sixth is Hernandez, the second baseman. Third baseman, Michael Franco. Batting seventh. Batting eighth is left fielder Jay Perella. And batting ninth is Zach Eflin for the Mets. It's going to be McNeil in left field today, batting leadoff, followed by Pete Alonso, the first baseman. The third hole hitter is the right fielder Michael Conforto, followed by Wilson Ramos, who hit 2 home runs in yesterday's game. He's in the cleanup spot. Robbie Cano back from about 3 weeks, who when he was off, returned yesterday to the lineup. He's at second base. Rosario, the shortstop, batting sixth. Batting seventh is Nimmo, the center fielder. Again, another high on-base guy. The Tot fathers, Todd Frazier at third base. This is his last season with the Mets. He was signed on a 2-year contract. He will be moving over to the Texas Rangers this 2020 season. And it's Steven Matz batting ninth. And there's a good crowd in 2019, unlike 2020 that has no crowds at all. And we're right about to get started. I'll show you how to play a little bit of deep drive baseball as we go, and I will have some conversations about the more intricate aspects of it. It's a very simple game, so I'm not going to lie to you. Very simple game, and but it has all the nuances that you'd want in your standard game. This is a combination of, I would say, a Stratomatic, an APA, a Pro Status Pro. It has a little bit of each of those games. So if you like any of those games, you'll immediately, feel comfortable with this game. You use 3 10-sided dice, 3 D10 I call them, and you read the red and the white. If it's 0 to 49, it's going to be off the batter card. If it's 50 to 99, it's going to be off the pitcher card. But at any time, depending on the role, you go to the deep drive section of the batter card. So it does have the 50-50, but then it does have that other element where you're going to the deep drive, and that is representative of the extra base hit potential of the batter, and that's what makes this very unique. So you do have the pitcher. The better pitchers are going to limit those extra base hits and those home runs to almost nil. Right? So if it's a really good pitcher, he's not going to give up a lot of deep drives. But the batter still has the potential of getting a hold of a wheelhouse pitch and driving it deep. But the pitcher can limit that. So anyway, it's got a little bit of everything, and then it's got your ballpark card. Let me pull that out. I have did not pull that out yet. That's what she said. Citi Field right here. And it's a ballpark card, and depending on the ballpark, Citi Field is it's about an okay field to hit home runs on. There are better fields and there are worse fields. And so that's always going to also limit the extra base hits. So I'm going to do old school paper and pencil score sheet, and we're right about to get started. So let's roll those 2 D10. You read the red first, and that is an 89. So that's going to be off Steven Matz, and that's an out. Now the green is going to tell us what kind of an out, and that comes right off the pitcher's card, and that's chopped to third. And third baseman Frazier waits for it, fires to first, and in time, one away. So Segura grounds out for the first out. Steven Matz, left-handed pitcher, who in their replay, he's got a 4.94 ERA and is 8-10. Here's the pitch to Real Muto, a 24, is a strikeout. So he gets JT swinging, 2 away. And here's Bryce Harper. Lefty on lefty, it's a 19, and that is strike 3, back-to-back Ks to end the inning for Matz. No runs, no hits. We go to the bottom of the first. Plays very fast. McNeil, pitch from Eflin, 69 is a K. 1 down. Next is Pete Alonso. That's from the right side. Good power hitter. And that's line and caught by Jean Segura. Timed that perfectly. Went up, brought it back down. 2 down. And Michael Conforto with 83 and a 3. And that is grounded to the third baseman, Franco. Franco up with it. Low throw. Scooped out by Hoskins. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits. Now keep in mind this is a modern game, and once you get to the 7th inning, it slows down because you got to make a lot of pitching changes. But what I do is I separate the pitchers for the team I don't know. And that's the Phillies. I don't know them as well as the Mets, so I know who the Mets have available. And plus I have my roster on PC Baseball, the Replay Baseball PC game. I have my roster, and they keep my roster. They tell me who's available and who isn't to bring in. It's Rhys Hoskins leading it off, and he's 66 and a 5, and that is strike 3. So it's a third strikeout in a row for Steven Matz. And a 28, that's a K, Scott Kingery. 4 in a row for Steven Matz. And a 43 and a 0, and that is line and caught by the Todd Father. 3 up, 3 down. Go to bottom of the second. All those results come right off the cards. Wilson Ramos and 75. That's going to be a defensive result. So it's very quick to do that. We have basically 2 charts. One you use more often than the other. There are not a lot of chart lookups in this game. It's one of the reasons I like it. It's a 93. That's going to be a range. And that's a ball that's driven in the gap. And after it is the right fielder, Harper, and he runs it down. So nice catch by Bryce Harper. And here's Robbie Cano, one of my favorite hitters of all time, and that line base hit, frozen rope to right field. Robbie with that sweet swing lines one to right field, played on a hop by Bryce Harper. Now, one little way I deal with the possibility of a wild pitch pass ball is to roll a D20. If it's a 1, I roll for that. And nope. So here's Ahmed Rosario with a 77 and a 7. That's a fly ball, right field. Under it is Harper. And here's Brandon Nimmo again. We're going to throw that pointy-sided die looking for a 1. Nope. Here's the pitch from Eflin. That's a 95 and a 9. That's going to be off the pitcher's card, and that's a fly ball. Center field. Kingery drifts under it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. But the Mets get a hit, lead 1, score none. Top of the third. Michael Franco. Pitch from Matz, 33 and a 6. And that is a hard hit ground ball to the shortstop. Rosario up with it, fires the first, 1 away. On my scorecard, I just write G6. Just kind of the way the cards a lot of times tell you what kind of an out it is. Next is Jose Perella. And he may actually have an advantage. Let me see if he gets – I think it would have to be – hold on a second. Because he's a specialist. He's a righty specialist. So let me take a quick look at the rules here. And this is the part of, I think, my presentations that I do go over things that are a little bit more unusual. And I kind of work them out with you, kind of as a tutorial almost. So batter advantage exists when a pitcher's fatigued. We know that. A right-handed specialist batter faces a left-handed specialist pitcher. So he's not a left-handed specialist pitcher, so it doesn't seem like he's going to get the batter advantage here. right? It would have to be a left-handed specialist versus a right-handed specialist for the batter. It's easier for a pitcher to get an advantage than a batter, and it's kind of realistic. So here's going to be the pitch to Jose Pirela. That's a 0-7, and that is a base on ball, so Pirela walks. That's the first base runner against Steven Matz, and up comes Zach Eflin. And Zach Eflin has not much of a hitter at all, really, to be honest with you. He had a 160 batting average. So we're going to square away, and we're going to bunt, and you use this chart right here, the bunt chart, and I'll show you how that works. Just roll like you would a regular at bat. It's going to be a 49 and a 0. That's a liners. That's a regular out, and that is going to be a potential to get the lead runner. Who's the runner? Pirela is let's look at his speed. Very slow. So you know what? I'm going to try to get the lead runner here, and I'll show you how to do that. So to get the lead runner, it's going to give me the opportunity to get the lead runner. Can attempt to lead runner to retire the batter. If making the play lead runner, find the speed and fielder rating on the chart and roll a die. If rolls within the So we look at the fielder rating. Let's find out who the fielder is. And that is going to be a 7. That is going to be the third baseman. And the fielder rating, I believe, is a 3. That is the top father. A 3, very slow. So 0 to 6, we're going to get the lead runner on this attempted sacrifice. So let's roll 0 to 6, and we get the lead runner. So it's 5 to 4. Fielder's choice, no sacrifice bunt. So in this case, since I noticed that Pirela was so slow, I attempted to get him, and we do. And that puts Eflin on first base with 2 outs. So great play by Frazier, who charged that bunt, fired a strike to, it would be the shortstop, I guess. The shortstop because, the second baseman's covering first on that. All right, so 5-6, and we get the fielder's choice, 2 outs, and Jean Segura is coming up. Jean Segura grounded to the third baseman. Hey there, ID Jester. How are you, brother? Deep drive baseball. Jean Segura. I'm going to roll that D20, and I think I forgot to roll the D20 to check earlier. I may have rolled it. I'll roll it twice. It doesn't really matter. Jean Segura. Steven Matz on the mound for the Mets. No score here in the top of the third. 2 outs, runner on first. And that's a 40 and a 6, and that's ripped to the shortstop. Rosario flips to Cano at second for the force, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the third. It's going to be the Todd father, Matz, and McNeil. Here's the pitch from Zach Eflin. That's an 88 and a 6, and that's a hard hit ground ball to shortstop Segura. And he throws him out, 1 down. Steven Matz. Every pitcher gets his, almost every pitcher gets a pitcher hitting card, which is kind of nice. That's a 53 and a 9, and that is a deep drive. And it's not going to be, so that's going to be an out. It's going to be it could be a single. So let's roll for that. Let's see. Not going to be a deep drive, so it's got to be an out. It's going to be a strikeout. Jeff McNeil, trying to just think about how to handle that. If it's a deep drive and there's no deep drive, I believe the instructions say to go to the out, the nearest out. I don't believe it becomes a single. So that's 2 outs, and here comes McNeil. Not important enough really to worry about it. But I'm pretty sure I played it right. 49 and a 7, and that's a fly ball right field. Right there is Bryce Harper. Squeeze it for out number 3, and that retires the side. We'll go to the top of the 4th. JT Realmuto, he struck out in the first inning, and that's a 93, and that's line and caught by the second baseman Cano. Robbie Cano started his career off with the Yankees and moved to Seattle Seattle gave him a 10-year, $240 million contract. That's $24 million a year. Cano's family wasn't excited about him moving out west. They're from the Dominican Republic, and New York is just a hop, skip, and a jump from DR. You can get there in 40, 50 minutes by plane. Whereas, to go across country to see Cano was a little bit inconvenient for the family, particularly his father, that really enjoyed watching Robbie Cano play. And but Cano went for the money, went for the bucks. He felt that he wasn't, appreciated by the Yankees. He didn't feel that he got they were offering him 7 years for about the same money, but only 7 years versus the 10 years. But he was unhappy in Seattle, had a couple of good seasons. Then there was a season where he was injured and a so-so season. And then he had the performance-enhancing drug violation where he missed 80 games. So he's back in New York, and he's much happier. And this season, he's having a great season. He's stroking it. And it's Bryce Harper, top of the fourth, 1 out. And that's a 53. That's a deep drive off the bat of Harper, and that ball is driven deep right field, and back goes Conforto to the track, looks up, that's gone. Bryce Harper gives, I was going to say the Nats, gives the Phillies a 1-0 lead here in the top of the fourth, connects on a Steven Matz fastball, and Steven wishes he had that back. Here's Rhys Hoskins. Here's the pitch. That's a 0-6, and that is line base hit. So back-to-back hits off of Matz. Going to roll that D20, looking for that wild pitch. There's nothing there. Scott Kingery, the batter, 45 and a 4, and that is a slow ground ball. And Cano's going to have to charge. There's only one play, and that is the first. That sends Hoskins to second base. He's in scoring position with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. It's 1-0 Philadelphia. Playing deep drive baseball. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't tried it, try it out. It's $1. You can't go wrong. You get all the players for $12. It's a fun system. Plays quickly. Has all the nuance that you want in a game. That's a 28 and a 9, and that is a fly ball center field. Drifting under it is Nimmo, and that retires the side, but the Phils pick up a run on 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the fourth, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia. Pete Alonso, pitch from Eflin. That's a 54. That's a deep drive. Pete Alonso gets a hold of one and drives it deep to left center field. Back goes Kingery and looks up. That's out of here. Pete Alonso connects, ties the ball game with his 38th home run of the season. Took that slider and hung up there a little bit and drove it deep to left center field. And here's Michael Conforto. 1-1 now to score in the bottom of the fourth. That's a 26 and a 4, and that's a K. So Eflin comes right back and strikes out Conforto. Wilson Ramos, 51. That's a deep drive. And that ball is driven, and that's going to be 1 hop off the wall for a, oh, no, wait a second. Wait a second, Jose. That ball is gone. Home run, Wilson Ramos. Hit 2 yesterday and hits 1 here. Looked like it was off the top of the wall, but no, the umpire, he went out there and he's saying it's a home run. So it's 2-1 Mets. Robbie Cano now, the pitch from Eflin. That's a 36 and a 2, and that is a ground ball hit hard right at the first baseman. Hoskins plays it himself, steps on the bag ahead of Cano, who really was not tearing it down the line, and he's known for not tearing it down the line. Ahmed Rosario with 2 outs, and that's 34 and a 5, and that is it's ripped to the second baseman. Hernandez over to first, and that retires the side. Mets pick up 2 runs on 2 hits. The 2 solo shots, one by Alonso, his 37th, another one by Ramos. I'm not sure how many he has. I have to look at that later. We go to top of the 5th. Mets are up 2-1. Mets record on the season is 71-68. This is game 140 of the Mets season. And let's see. Michael Franco. Pitch from Nats. That's a 12, and that is a strikeout. That's strikeout number 5 for Nats. 1 away. Jose Pirela. It's a 92, and a 2 is a comebacker to Nats. Stabs it over to first. 2 down. And Zach Eflin. A 65 and a 3. That's strike 3. Strikeout number 6. And that's 3 up, 3 down. We go now to the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1 Mets. Thanks to solo shots by Pete Alonso. His 30, I think it's his 38th of the season, actually. And Wilson Ramos. Here we're going to see Nimmo, Frazier, and Matz. And Nimmo flied out to center field in his first at bats, and he walks here. Todd Frazier's next. We're going to throw that D20. Nothing there. No wild pitch, no pass ball there. That's an 11. That's ball 4. So back-to-back walks. Puts runners on first and second. Matz is going to square. Going to throw that D20, make sure there's no pass ball, wild pitch. And Matz squares. I'll show you how to do that. It's a 46 and a 2. And then we're going to see if it's a 9. That is a sacrifice. And who's it to? It is to the right in front of home plate. And Real Muto over to second baseman. Sack 2-4. Both runners move up. And that brings up Jeff McNeil with runners on second and third. The infield is going to be in for the Phils. Looking for that 1. Here's the pitch to McNeil. That's a 0-4. That's a deep drive off the bat of McNeil. And that is a 90 deep drive right field. Back goes Harper to the track and makes the catch. That's going to be a sacrifice fly. And we're going to see if Frazier can move up on that. And a 60. Frazier is a blank. I believe that's deep drive to, who did I say? I believe that was deep drive to center field. It was a deep drive somewhere. I believe it was center field or right field. Either way, he's going to a 60. I don't know if he's going to get it. He's average. Yeah, and he's safe at third base. So both runners move up on that sacrifice fly. So McNeil drives one to deep right field, and Harper to the track makes the catch. RBI for McNeil makes it a 3-1 game. Nimmo scores on that. And moving to third is Frazier. Todd Frazier is not a slow. I believe he's not a slow. No, he's average. Okay, so he does move up. And that is 2 outs now. And here comes Pete Alonso. 3-1 Mets. And that's a 0-8. Oh, just missed being an extra base hit. But that's going to be line base hit. And that's going to be RBI single. 4-1 Mets. Pete Alonso with strokes a frozen rope to left center field, driving in run number 4 for the Mets. 4-1. And here comes Michael Conforto. I don't think we roll that the D20 will roll it twice to catch up. And here's the pitch to Conforto, a 52. That's a deep drive off the bat of Conforto. And that ball, my friends, is out of here. 2-run shot by Michael Conforto. The Mets are up 6-1. And that's going to be it for Zach Eflin. Going to see a new pitcher now. And who are we going to get? I separated all the pitchers that pitch. We're going to get righties coming up. Yep, we're going to get Blake Parker coming in. Eflin went 4 2/3, 4.2. And here comes Parker. He's going to face Wilson Ramos. That's a 20 and a 4, and that is a defensive result. Let's see what happens. Roll 2d6. That's a 50. And that's a first baseman ground ball and past the diving Rhys Hoskins at first base for a single. So Ramos with his second hit of the game. He homered in the fourth. Mets are up 6-1. Scored 1, 2, 4 in this inning. And it's Robbie Cano. Cano singled and grounded out. Going to roll that D20, looking for that 1. No 1 there. That's a 90 and a 7. That is a, I'm using Blake Parker, wrong card. I'm using his batting card. Let's find Blake Parker here. You get every card for every player. That's a great thing about this game. You can really, replay those actual, using those actual lineups with this system. Can't do that with a lot of other systems. And let's see if I have Blake Parker here. I should have him somewhere. Otherwise, I may have to look at the. Let's see. Let's see, my friends. Let me pull out. See if I have Blake Parker. All right. Almost sure I had him. Then I printed him out. Blake Parker. Almost guaranteed. What I was using, and you know what? He may be in this set here as well. There he is. I knew I had him. All right. All right, I got a visit from my buddy. How you doing, buddy? What are you up to? Huh? Exploring? Good boy. All right. So Blake Parker comes in to face Robbie Cano. Actually faced Wilson Ramos. And now it's Robbie Cano. That's a 90 and a 7. That is a fly ball right field. Right there is Harper for out number 3. But the Mets pick up 4 runs on 1-2, 2 hits, 2 walks, a home run, a sacrifice fly, and a base hit single. Go to top of the 6th, Steven Matz versus Jean Segura. Now Matz has 9 total points. He's used. This is one. Let me get that open. Hey, bud, let me move this for you. Wait. He laid down on top of the my cutter, plastic cutter. That must have been uncomfortable. I put it on his chair. All right, so where was I? Oh, I was trying to teach you guys how to do the endurance. So Steven Matz has 9 points, right? And the first thing I'm going to do is count up the innings. He's gone 5 innings, so that's 9 minus 5. He hasn't given up a run yet. Oh, he has given up a run. So that's another minus 1. So that is 6 total. So he's got 3 points left. 3 points left, and he's gone through the lineup twice. So that gives him 1 more point. So he can go this 6th inning, and then I'll have to pull him. And that's going to work. He may be due up next inning. We'll see what happens. But it's going to work. Either way, I'm going to pull him, or I can let him go 1 extra inning fatigued. And sometimes they won't give up a hit even though they're fatigued. It's just the luck of the card sometimes, luck of the dice. All right, so we're in the top of the 6th. Steven Matz is going to face Jean Segura, JT Realmuto, and Bryce Harper. Mets are up 6-1. A couple of 3 home runs for the Mets, Pete Alonso and Ramos with solo shots, and a 2-run shot by Michael Conforto. And here's the pitch. You read the red first. So it's going to be a 53. That's a deep drive off the bat of Jean Segura. He drives it to deep left center field. After it is McNeil. And that ball is going to be 1 hop off the wall. McNeil plays it nicely, but Segura with his speed is going to get into second base with a leadoff double here in the top of the 6th. Going to roll that 20-sided die, looking for the 1 to see if it's a wild pitch. or a pass ball. Here's JT Realmuto, and he gets a hold of one, drives it deep to left field, pull down the line, and that ball is going to be off the wall, and that's going to score Segura. RBI double for Realmuto, back-to-back, 2 baggers. So nobody out, run around second, and here comes Bryce Harper. 6-2 now. That's a 1, so we have a potential of a wild pitch. Let's see. Let's say 58. And what instructions will it give me? 58 says if pitcher wild pitch is B, C, D, or F, and he is a B, so it's a wild pitch. That's going to move Realmuto to third base. Going to give Matz a wild pitch there. Bryce Harper with a runner on third base, 6-2. Throwing that D20. Here's the pitch to Harper. It's a 27 and an 8, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Matz picks up his 7th strikeout of the game. Next is Rhys Hoskins. It's an 18 pitch from Matz. It's a 98 and a 3, and that is a medium ground ball chopped to third base. And we are going to hold on this. We are going to hold simply because we're down by a bunch of runs, and we don't want to risk getting thrown out the plate. So Scott Kingery. Here's the pitch. Oh, that's a deep drive off the bat of Kingery. Drives one to deep left center field. And that ball is going to be out of here. Scott Kingery makes the score 6-4 now with a 2-run shot off of Matz. A lot of home runs in modern baseball, I'll tell you. Center field. And it's 6-4. And next is Cesar Hernandez. Pitch from Matz. It's a 35 and a 3, and that is a ground ball to the first baseman, Alonso. Takes it himself, and that retires the side, but the Phils pick up 3 runs on 3 hits, all extra base hits. Score now 6-4, and that's going to be it for Matz. So he went 6, gave up 4 runs, 4 earned runs, a couple of home runs, struck out 7, and he walked 1. How many hits? 3, 4, 5. 5 hits, allowed 5 hits. And top of 7, we're going to bring in Familia. And it's going to be Rosario. Blake Parker is going to get pulled. Actually, yep, he's going to have to get pulled. Otherwise, he'll be fatigued. And we're going to bring in, who's batting? A righty and a lefty, and a righty. So we're going to bring in Nick Vincent. So Vincent's coming in. Parker went 1/3 of an inning, 0.1. Gave up 1 hit. Vincent is coming in. It's going to be Rosario, Nimmo, and Frazier. Here's a pitch from Vincent. Score is 6-4. That's a 76, and that's a strikeout. So Vincent strikes out Rosario. Out number 1. Brandon Nimmo, left-handed hitter. It's a 22, and that's a K. Back-to-back Ks for Vincent. And here's Todd Frazier. It's a 19, and that's a strikeout. So Vincent comes in, strikes out the side. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits. We go to top of the 7th. It's going to be Jerry Familia against the righty Michael Franco. Let's see where Familia is. I mean, I have in this set. These are the guys that are mostly the ones I use. And then, of course, I got the second set of cards over here. So, And Paul Sewald. I think I had Sewald there. I got 2 Sewald cards. Wilson is another guy I use a lot. Got to put him over there. And I'm looking for Familia. Get every card, so when you got to look for guys, it takes a little bit of time. Familia is going to go 1 inning. Hopefully, he can get through this inning. Not a very good pitcher last year. Here's the pitch to Michael Franco, a 13, and that is a strikeout. So Franco is 0 for 3. Next is Pirela. And we're going to bring in a pinch hitter here for Pirela. It's going to be Dickerson. Corey Dickerson. And he's going to stay in to play left field. Here's the pitch from Familia. That's a 56, and that is line base hit. Tying run is at the plate now. And we're going to get a pinch hitter. It is going to be, let's see, Phil Goslin. Logan Morrison. Power hitting first baseman. Morrison called on to pinch hit. And we're going to roll that D20, which I don't think I just did. Oh, and I get a 1, so that's going to be a wild pitch. Potential wild pitch. It's a 60. And that is B, C, D, or F. And he's a C, so it is a wild pitch. Second wild pitch of the day for a Met pitcher. So that moves Dickerson over to second base. Again, we're going to throw that D20. There could be back-to-back wild pitches. And here's the pitch to Logan Morrison. 0-71, and that is ball 4. So the tying run is at first base. And up comes Gene Segura. Again, the Mets have a terrible bullpen. Only Lugo and Wilson can really hold their own. Everybody else is a disaster. Mets have lost tons of games with their bullpen. We're in the top of the 7th. It's 6-4 Mets. The Mets were leading 6-2. Actually, 6-1. Wait a second. Let me double check that. 6-1. They were leading 6-1, and it's 6-4 now. So Reds on first and second, 1 out, top of the 7th. Gene Segura against Jerry Familia. We're going to roll that D20, see if there's a wild pitch there. Oh, and there's a potential wild pitch again. See what happens. Could be a pass ball. 64, and a 64 says wild pitch, automatic. It's another wild pitch, and that's going to move both runners into scoring position. So now 2 wild pitches for Familia. And now you got the tying run in scoring position. So again, we're going to roll that. Here's another. And here's the pitch from Familia. It's a 78 and a 5. It's a strikeout. So he blows a slider past Gene Segura. Big K for Familia. And here's JT Realmuto, probably the best hitter, one of the top hitters on the team. One of the best catchers in baseball. And it's going to be Familia versus JT with the tying run at second base. This is trouble. This is trouble for Familia. See if you can get out of this one. Here's a pitch, and it's a 56. That's going to be line base hit. The game will be tied. Coming in to score is Dickerson, and right behind him is Morrison. But we're going to check on this Morrison's speed. Yep, and Morrison scores easily. And the game is tied. 2-run single by JT Realmuto ties the game. Knew that Familia was going to give up the lead. Just knew it. Terrible. Here's the pitch to Bryce Harper. And a 43 and a 1 is going to be popped up. Bryce Harper not happy. Left side. Under it is Frazier. Makes the catch, and that retires the side. But the Phils pick up 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk. And the game now is tied at 6 apiece, 6-6. Let's do away with all that. All right, bottom of the 7th. It's going to be a new pitcher for It's going to be Jared Hughes is coming out. Jared Hughes. Vincent went with the pinch hit for the Mets. It was 5KK. All right. Guillorme is available. And Panic. We're going to bring in Joe Panic, pinch hit for Familia. And Familia will be out. I'm going to bring in a new pitcher in the top of the 8th. Okay, so it's going to be Panic against Jared Hughes. Hughes is now a Met, by the way. Joe Panic, here's the pitch from Hughes. That's a 38-9, and that is a fly ball center field. And Kingery under it, 1 away. McNeil's up. He's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Pitch from Hughes. That's a 0-8. That's going to be line. Base hit, frozen rope to left center field off the bat of McNeil. So he's on at first. Pete Alonso. We're throwing that D20, see if there's a wild pitch. Nothing there. Pitch from Hughes, a 57. And that's going to be a base hit, little ground ball through the left side. And McNeil will try for third. I believe he can try for third on this. No, it's going to hold up. First and second. And that was a 57. And now it's Michael Conforto, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch from Michael. And he has hit a home run. He's 1 for 3. He's got a 2-run shot. That's a 54. That's a deep drive off the bat of Conforto. And that ball is going to be out of here. 3-run shot. And the Mets take a 9-6 lead off the second home run of the game by Michael Conforto. Drives a fastball deep into the right center field seats. It's a 3-run shot. And the Mets lead it by a score of 9-6. So they've retaken the lead. That's Conforto's second home run of the game. He's got 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Jared Hughes wishes he had that pitch back. Here's a pitch to Wilson Ramos. That's a 68. That's strike 3, out number 2. So Hughes strikes out Ramos. And here's Robbie Cano. Robbie Cano's 1 for 3. No problem, BR. No problem, brother. I take my time on those things that are a little bit iffy, you know. Guys that I kind of related back to the questions that guys usually ask. So I slowed down on that. The one that gets a lot of guys is the 50 up or down when a guy is fatigued. And I take my time showing that as well. So it's a 3-1, and this is going to be a 2. That's going to be a ground ball. Hit hard at the first baseman, Rhys Hoskins, and he scoops it, steps on the bag, and that retires the side, but not before the Mets pick up 3 runs to take a 9-6 lead off the 3-run home run by Michael Conforto, his second home run of the game. And we go to the top of the 8th. Hoskins, Kingery, and Hernandez. And who can the Mets pitch? Let me go quickly and check this out. Okay, L6 and G5. Okay, L6 and G5. Let's look quickly here. I'm using Replay Baseball to keep track of all my rosters and my stats. So it's going to be a righty, a pinch hitter. A righty, not a pinch hitter, rather a switch. No, Kingery is 2 righties. Okay, so we're going to bring in a righty. We're going to bring in Brad Brock. Let's see if I have where I have Brock sitting around somewhere here. Brad Brock, we're in the top of the 8th inning. The Mets have just taken a 9-6 lead after the Phils scratched and clawed their way back to tie the game at 6 apiece. The Mets were up 6-1 at one point, but the Phils tied it in the top of the 6th inning. And but the Mets came in the top of the 7th, excuse me, but the Mets came back in the bottom of the 7th with a 3-run shot by Michael Conforto and have retaken the lead. They're up 9-6. We're in the top of the 8th. It's Brock versus Hoskins, Kingery, and Hernandez. And I read the red first, 33-1, and that is a defensive lookup. So I just have my defensive chart right here. I coded them so I know the difference. One is white, this one, and then of course the other one is green. And we're going to roll to see if it's a hit or a range play. It's going to be a range play, and to the first baseman. And Alonso dives for it, picks it up. Nice throw to the pitcher covering, and that is out number one. So that's going to be a 3-1. Ground ball 3-1. Good play, great play by the first baseman Alonso to retire Hoskins. And here's Scott Kingery. And let's write in Brock. Give up 2 runs. And that's a 42-7, and that is a fly ball right field. Under it is Conforto. 2 out. And here's Cesar Hernandez. He's a switch hitter. He's 0 for 3 today. Lined out, flied out, and grounded out. That's a 40-1, and that is a pop-up right side. First baseman Alonso under it, and that's 3 up, 3 down for Brock. And we're going to see Diaz in the 9th, and that is always trouble. He blew a save yesterday in the 9th inning. And he's probably going to blow another one today, but we'll see what happens. Brock went 1 inning, retired the side. Good job. Brad Brock does his job. And it was 2 hits and a walk. Familia allowed the game to be tied. Terrible. But he's in line for the victory, unfortunately. Doesn't deserve it. Strikeout, that's 2 Ks. And for Familia in that inning that he came in. All right, it's going to be, let's see. We got to bring in a new pitcher for the Phils. That was Hughes. Hughes went 1 inning but gave up that 3-run home run. 3 hits, allowed 3 hits, 3 runs. Big home run. Strikeout. No walks. And who are we going to see here leading off is a righty. Mike Morin. Mike Morin is coming in. All these guys actually pitched in this game. There's like 10 pitchers that pitched in this game. So Mike Morin is going to face Ahmed Rosario. Rosario on the day is flied out, grounded out, and struck out. Here's the pitch, and that's a 19, and that's a strikeout. Second time Rosario strikes out today. Here's Brandon Nimmo. That's a 28, and that's a K. Back-to-back Ks for Mike Morin, or Morin. And it's the Todd Father Frazier with a fly ball, left field. And that's 3 up, 3 down. We go top of the 9th, last licks for the Phillies. It's going to be Michael Franco, Dickerson, and then a pinch hitter. Don't know who that's going to be. Probably a Rodriguez against Edwin Diaz. Yes, sirree. Edwin Diaz. All right, here goes. Michael Franco. Here's the pitch. That's a 50. That's a deep drive right off the bat. Deep drive, and that ball is driven deep to left field, and that ball is out of here. So leadoff home run by Franco in the top of the 9th makes it a 9-7 ball game. Corey Dickerson is next. That's a 72 and a 6, and that's a strikeout. So Dickerson swings and misses. We get a pinch hitter now, and who do we got here? We got Roman Quinn, Suarez, Sean Rodriguez, and I want to check something real quick here because I don't want to bring in Quinn if he was not available, but I don't see Quinn in the but he may be available. Let's see. Morrison, Goslin. All right. Let me see who they have available to pinch hit. Hazley, Miller, should be here. Bruce should be here. So we got a lot of players that should be available. Let's bring in Brad Miller. Let's bring in Brad Miller. Left-handed specialist against Edwin Diaz with 1 out. 9-7 the score. And it's going to be Brad Miller. We're in September, so each team has a big roster. Mostly it's filled by pitchers. We can go back to the stream, the live stream. There it is. And Brad Miller versus Edwin Diaz here in the top of the 9th. It's 9-7 Mets. Edwin Diaz on the mound. Here's the pitch, and that's an 87. Strike 3. Down swinging goes Brad Miller, and that brings up Jean Segura, the leadoff batter. So the Phils are down to their last out. Here's the pitch from Diaz, and that is line. Oh, no, base on balls. And Edwin Diaz frustrated with that call, but Segura trots down to first base with a walk, and here comes JT Realmuto, the tying run at the plate against Edwin Diaz, who's known for blowing saves and allowing home runs. And we throw that 20-sided die, see if there's a wild pitch. Here's the pitch to JT Realmuto who represents the tying run here in the top of the 9th, 9-7 New York. And the Phils down to their last out. Here goes. Pitch from Diaz, and that is a 83, and that is strike 3, and the ball game is over. So, despite allowing a home run and a walk, Edwin Diaz strikes out the side, and the Phils pick up 1 run on 1 hit. They lead 1, and the Mets hold on to win it by a score of 9-7. Phils had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. Mets had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. I don't think there were any errors committed that I can remember. Looking quick, I usually write them as I go in the game. Sometimes I forget. But no, there was no errors. A bunch of wild pitches by the Mets. There were 2 wild pitches by Familia, 1 wild pitch by Matz. So the line score, Mets win it. They win their 72nd game of the year, 72-68. And the line score was Phils, 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Mets, 9 runs, 9 hits, no errors. So the Mets hold on. They beat the Phils in game 1 of this. I believe it may be a 3 or 4 game series. I'm not totally sure. I'm not sure if this is a Friday or a Thursday night game. If it's a Friday night game, it's probably a 3-game set. If it's a Thursday night game, it's probably a 4-game set. But the Phils don't have a great let's take a look at the Phils' won-loss percentage. Phils are 65-74, and they fall to 65-75 here. And the Mets, of course, have a winning record. They were 10 games over 500 in 2019, so they're fun to play. And that's it. I have to input the stats, and then I'll see the next game on the schedule, and I'll see who the next pitcher is. But the Mets hold on to beat the Phils in this game, something they couldn't do in yesterday's game, where the Phils came back and walked it off in the bottom of the 9th. Actually, wait a second. That can't be because they're playing in no, that was the Nationals walked off in the bottom of the 9th. They scored 1, 2, 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th and beat the Mets by a score of 6-5. Yeah, believe it or not. The Mets were up 5-3, and Diaz gave up 3 runs. Terrible. Yes, sirree. Actually, 2 runs. It was 2 runs he gave up, and he came in. Yesterday's game was 5-4, and they lost 6-5. They scored 2 runs on singles by Suzuki and a walk-off by Victor Robles. That was yesterday's game. The Mets come back and get revenge, and that's about it. This is CP Cards and Dice, and thanking you for joining our presentation of our 2019 replay, and that's it. I will see you guys very, very soon. Probably not today, but probably another game tomorrow. Maybe one tonight. Who knows? Mets win it by a score of 9-7. And who's going to get the win here? Familia is going to get the victory. Unfortunately, didn't deserve it. Diaz gets a save. The loss is going to go to Hughes, who gave up those 3 runs. And take care, guys. See you soon.